So umpisahan muna natin. To me, this is very important, no, for you to appreciate and have a good understanding of what integrative medicine is. No, I am now into bioregenerative medicine. May nakita ako kanina nag-pop out. Ano ba yung bioregenerative medicine? It seems to be a new term, no? Well, pwede siguro sa nating sabihin it's a relatively new term because it is bioregenerative means biological medicine, which means, of course, the entire body, no, the biology of the human being, and of course, regenerative, which is how do you prolong the life of a person. And this is, of course, has something to do with now getting nagtitrend na siya, no? Stem cell. I am heavily involved in stem cell, no? Even from my previous commitments, no? Especially in European Wellness Philippines. European Wellness is an international healthcare organization, and fortunately, I was appointed as the Philippine medical director for European Wellness, and it's a very exciting, sabihin na lang natin parang specialty, no? Although sa conventional mainstream medicine, still a big question mark because hindi pa nare-recognize. But worldwide, is now getting to be the trend, no? The bioregenerative medicine, no? Kasi we always talk of regeneration. We always talk of rejuvenation. We always talk of longevity because that's how people should focus on, di ba? Ano ba yung mga bagay na magpapahaba ng buhay natin, no? Of course, with all due respect, no, lagi kong nababanggit si former Senator Juan Ponce Enrile is right now 101 years old. Centenarian na siya. No? And at his age of 101, he still is very much influential. Let's start with the integrative medicine, no? A short essence of what integrative medicine is. Okay, can everyone see this?
Yes po, Doc.
Nakikita na? Okay,
Opo.
I'll just minimize the ano ha. Yeah. Okay. So everyone can see, I hope, hopefully, no? So we have what we call the basics of integrative medicine. It is really a holistic approach to health and healing because nowadays, no, what is important is anywhere in the world, you always hear about health and wellness because integrative medicine covers the entire gamut of medical practice, clinical experiences, because the word integrative coming from integrate, meaning you mix, you combine, di ba? Dali lang. I'm trying to get to the next slide. Hindi ko maano ah. Bakit siya ayaw? Okay, yeah. So integrative healthcare or integrative wellness or integrative medicine. So from the word integrate. So again, it combines conventional, which is mainstream medicine, where I'm part of it until now. I've been into clinical practice for more than 30 years. So at least you have an idea of how young I am. So combining the conventional mainstream medicine with evidence-based complementary therapies. Now, for some, they are quite familiar with CAM, complementary and alternative medicine, which is already a big practice in the US and other countries. No? So that includes TCM, traditional Chinese medicine. So if we try to combine all of this, the resulting outcome would definitely benefit the patient. No? So yan yung gusto nating mangyari. That's also the reason why I got so involved with bioregenerative medicine. Kasi in my own specialty, OBGYN, parang napakaliit nung area of practice eh. Kasi I just deal with the female reproductive organs, no? Papaanak, nagsisisaryan, uh, nagtatanggal ng matres kung kinakailangan. No, we do all gynecologic cases, no? Meaning women's diseases, what else? Mostly focused on the reproductive organs. So sabi ko parang parang maliit lang. How else can I contribute to spreading or expanding my knowledge to benefit both male and female, including children at that. No? Ngayon, sabihin naman nyo, bakit ako napunta sa OBGYN? Because I wanted, before going into training, I wanted to get into a specialty which has operative procedures. Na-intimidate lang ako noon sa general surgery kasi you have to go through, from head to foot, GS and general surgery. Unlike sa obstetrics and gynecology, you just have to concentrate on the female reproductive organ. But sabi ko, I could have been an effective internist also. Kasi yun yung gusto natin eh. How else can you help the patient on a holistic approach? Yung whole being niya. And so it's so obvious that there are so many problems concerning the overall well-being of any individual. So aside from combining itong tinatawag na conventional mainstream medicine with evidence-based. We emphasize evidence-based. Sabi ko nga malimit, hindi naman to yung galing kay Mang Kepueng, na sabi-sabi lang. All of these complementary and alternative medicine has undergone a lot of clinical trials, has undergone a lot of extensive research, so much so that it is already considered as science-based. So walang dito, walang hocus pocus, walang magic. So all of these are scientifically based. Kasi sabi ko nga din, if law requires evidence, medicine also requires evidence. Kaya tayo tinatawag na evidence-based medicine. Kailangan ng ebidensya. And some of the evidences might come from diagnostic procedures. Of course, the ultimate evidence would be what are the treatment that are being given to individual patients. Now, apart from that, of course, we focus on the holistic approach na sinasabi, physical, mental, and emotional well-being of the person. So when you say a whole person approach, this treats the whole person, not just the disease. Unfortunately, if we try to look at the conventional mainstream medicine, I'm not saying it's a sweeping statement, but mostly the treatments would usually center on what we call symptoms, symptomatic treatment. So halimbawa, may masakit, the patient comes in, Doc, masakit yung ganito ko, masakit yung tiyan ko, masakit yung ulo ko, and all. So the first impulse of the usual internist would be to give pain relievers. Kasi the moment the pain the pain is removed or eliminated, malaking bagay na yun sa pasyente. But the thing is, it comes back. Kasi why? Symptomatic lang yung treatment eh. It's just to relieve the pain. But kulang to try to investigate and go to the root cause of the problem causing the pain para magkaroon ng somehow a permanent solution to the problem. So that's the reason why it's very important to consider how do you treat the patient? Is it just a mere symptomatic treatment? No? On the other hand, napakarami pa rin pasyente ang ang nasa isip nila na, Doc, wala naman akong nararamdaman eh. Siguro naman okay ako. Again, that is not accurate. No? That is not true. A lot of times, patients may present without any signs and symptoms, pero pag pinalaboratory mo, from the outset, makikita mo na kagad may mga diferensya pala. Because to begin with, kung meron diferensya yung pasyente, tumataas ang blood sugar niya, no? At nagsisimula pa lang, walang mararamdaman ng pasyente. How do you know that your blood pressure is increasing? Blood pressure. Or even, well, with hypertension sa blood pressure, sometimes may mga senyales di ba? You have nape pain, masakit yung batok mo, nahihilo ka, no? Pero sa blood sugar, wala kang maramdaman. So by accident, kung ikaw ay nagpa-laboratory, nakita mo, mataas pala yung aking blood sugar. Pag mataas ang cholesterol mo, meron ka bang maramdaman? In the beginning, wala. By the time you experience or develop some significant symptoms, baka malala na yun. No? Hindi ako nananakot ng pasyente, but I usually tell them about that. Because part and parcel of integrative medicine is we also focus on preventive healthcare measures. No? Sabi ko nga, even if you're not a doctor and you're involved in trying to help treat patients, no? If you are focused on preventive healthcare, nobody can accuse you of illegal practice of medicine. Prevention yun eh. Yun ang kulang din natin because hindi nabigyan ng focus yung preventive healthcare. Diba? So, when we say integrative medicine, no, it entails a broader scope or broader aspect of how we should be able to not only treat but to provide the necessary information to clients, no, to even delay or postpone the onset of these different medical conditions. Doon pa lang, bonus na tayo eh. We're not even guaranteeing na hindi ka magkakasakit. And that's, putting a lot of risk on the part of the doctor, no? But the mere fact that we can delay or postpone the onset of these significant lifestyle diseases, now we consider them as lahat na ng sakit ng tao are now being considered lifestyle disease. Why? Because it is brought about by lifestyle, poor lifestyle. No? Start with poor nutrition, sedentary lifestyle. Hindi kayo maniniwala, no? At my age now, I still go to the gym 3 times a week. No? Although, I have to confess, no? Medyo hindi ako disiplinado sa pagkain because eating is very, very tempting. No? Lalo na pag masarap yung pagkain. No? And especially pagka matatamis. No? Diba? Masarap kainin yan. But the point is, no? Dito, the approach of a whole person should also consider the entire gamut of his well-being, the mind, the body, and the spirit. And ito nga, nasabi dito, it seeks the underlying causes, not just the symptoms. It's very important to emphasize that because a lot of people still think that pag wala silang nararamdaman, they're still okay. No? And corollary to that, ang masakit na katotohanan is that malimit, no? Pag merong nararamdaman yung pasyente, no? Especially if these are part and parcel of the complication that is related to a specific disease entity. Wow, mas mahirap na, no? Just like cancer, no? Early detection would definitely result to better outcome. No, sabi mo, meron akong breast cancer stage 1. You can do something about it. In fact, we can reverse the situation. But kung stage 4, may metastatic lesions na, medyo mahihirapan na tayo. But one thing good is that, the good news is that we are now in the process of coming out with treatments, no, against different forms of cancer. Kung nadidinig niyo yung NK cells, natural killer cells, yung CAR-T cells, no, these are our combat-ready cells that can possibly, no, kill, most, if not all, of these cancer cells inside our bodies. Okay? So, sabi nga natin, evidence-based wellness. It is grounded in scientific evidences. No, hindi yan galing kay Mang Kepoeng, hindi yan galing kay sa kung sino man ano tawag doon, yung mga I forgot yung tawag doon sa mga nagtatrans pa minsan o kung ano-anong ginagawa. No, these are all scientific evidences. No? It improves the overall health and wellness of the individual. So that is the essence of integrative medicine. We also emphasize, no, sabi ko nga kanina earlier, the lifestyle. Now, poor nutrition, sedentary, physical activity, walang ginagawa, nakaupo lang, nagte-text lang, nag-TikTok, ano pa ba yung iba, nag-FB, no? These are putting a lot of strain on us. No, even children now are getting sick much, much earlier than when we were very young. Kasi marami kaming outdoor, when I was very young, we had a lot of outdoor activities. So, nagagamit yung ating katawan, no, ng gusto. Of course, stress management. Everyone will come up with an excuse. So, kasi stress ako eh. Sabi ko nga, is there anybody in this world na hindi na-stress? Ang hindi lang na-stress, yung mga batang wala pang muwang. Hindi pa nila alam kung ano nangyayari sa mundo. Pero yung mga bata na nag-aaral na, they are already under stress. Pag meron silang quizzes, meron silang mga assignments that they have to finish, na-stress na rin sila. Lalo tayo, no? Tayong adults, because part and parcel of our daily living is we need to make sure that meron tayong take home pay, no, marami tayong gastusin na kailangan ma-sustain yung na nakakayanin natin, no, one way or the other. And integrative medicine also encourages healthy habits to prevent chronic conditions. When we say chronic conditions, long-standing, matagal na, no? That's the opposite of acute. So kung meron tayong acute infection, for example, no, may tonsillitis ka, merong pharyngitis, no, binigyan ka ng antimicrobial, gumaling ka kagad, no? Now, a lot of these lifestyle diseases are chronic in nature. Diabetes, tagal na eh. Iba, Doc, 10 years na ako na-diagnose ng diabetes, 5 years na ako Doc, chronic hypertensive na ako. I've been taking this maintenance medicine, anti-hypertensive medicines for 12 years na, ganon. No? Ano pa, yung mga sakit. Halos lahat ng sakit ngayon are lifestyle diseases. Even the different forms of arthritis, no? Even cardiac, lalo pa, no? Heart diseases. And now, cancer is marami ng lalabas na articles na might say that cancer will now be considered a lifestyle disease brought about by chronic stress. So nakikita natin, no, na it might appear morbid, no, medyo nakakatakot, but kailangan natin yung katotohanan eh. Kailangan natin mapag-usapan how else can we do something about these different forms of disease entities. Kaya yung chronic disease, hopefully, no, hindi tayo mauwi. Kung papunta pa lang sa chronic state, no, yung long standing problem, magawa na natin ang paraan. And that can be done through integrative medicine. No? Especially relevant for managing chronic illnesses. Kasi yung iba, ang lagi sinasabi, Doc, diabetic na ako eh. Siguro for life na to. No? Doc, meron akong problema sa puso eh. O kaya hypertensive ako, mataas yung blood pressure ko lagi. Siguro, parang they surrender themselves. Wala nang pag-asa. No. No? Sabi nga natin, di ba, habang may buhay, may pag-asa. Meron tayong kasabihan na sa Diyos ang awa, pero nasa tao ang gawa. We need to do our part so that our dear Lord will also help us. Hindi pwedeng hihingi lang tayo ng tulong, tapos nakatunga nga lang tayo. Alam naman natin na marami tayong pwedeng dapat gawin. So there's a growing recognition across healthcare specialties. So may collaboration na rin na nangyayari once in a while between different specialties, no? Sa internal medicine, internist, no? You go into subspecialty, no? Pulmonology sa lungs, no? Cardiology sa heart, no? Merong dermatology, merong iba't iba. Those are subspecialties all forming the what we call the Department of Internal Medicine. So nagtutulungan na. Because collaboration is a very important and a very, not only important, but it's part of the entire gamut of trying to treat any disease entity. So yeah, may multidisciplinary teams and patient care. So sabi nga natin, collaborative approach among different healthcare professionals. Because we need to address the so-called unmet patient needs. Sometimes it's not just enough to treat the patient and then okay na siya. Doc, okay na ako. No, they need to follow up. No, we need to emphasize the importance of follow-ups. Lalo na doon sa ibang mga ano. I'll give you an example, no. The thyroid gland, I personally consider as the most neglected organ of the body. Why? Simply because ang alam lang ng marami, hindi ko naman sinasabi lahat, pero maraming tao, ang alam lang nila na thyroid problem is yung bosyo, no? Yung goiter. But they do not know what is hypothyroidism, what is hyperthyroidism. And we go to the hormones of the thyroid gland now to identify whether the patient is suffering from hypothyroidism or hyperthyroidism. Of course, there are signs and symptoms, but it varies from individual patients. So, bakit ko nabanggit yon? Meron kasing standard na binibigay to treat hypothyroidism. Hypo means mababa masyado yung thyroid hormones niya. So, siyempre, the impulse and the correct treatment would be to increase the thyroid hormones. So, may mga gamot. Now, bakit ko minention yun? Because follow-up is very necessary. Kasi pag ang pasyente binigyan ng gamot to treat their hypothyroidism, ano nangyayari? No, bumabaliktad na, sumobra na yung epekto ng gamot, naging hyperthyroidism na. And vice versa, yung hyperthyroidism na gusto mong sobra naman kasi taas ng thyroid hormones, gusto mo naman pababain, sumobra naman maba. The reason why I'm saying this is because I would want you to think na to put emphasis on follow-ups. Importante. Whether you're the patient or you're the doctor or you're the healer, kailangan ng follow-up ng pasyente. No? Kasi the moment, minsan di nila alam eh. That's the very reason why it's very important, no? Yung information that the healer or the doctor will provide the different clients or patients. Kasi pag naintindihan nila yung sakit nila, then chances are they will follow your instructions to the letter. Kasi alam nila, oh, dapat nilang gawin ito kasi ganito, ganito. Hindi yung pag hindi pinaliwanag ng doktor, binigyan lang ng prescription, no? Oh, ang mahal pala ng gamot, sabi ni patient. Ay, yung 3 times a day, gawin ko na lang once a day kaya. Hindi ko kaya kasi masyado mahal yung gamot eh. Oh, tapos bumalik yung pasyente, oh, sabi ng doktor, kumusta ka na? Are you okay now? Hindi ho, parang hindi ho ako gumagaling. Then we try to investigate, no? Ng mga doktor. Eh, yun pala, kulang ho eh. Eh, kasi ho, masyadong mahal yung gamot. It would have been different kung naintindihan nila ano yung magiging epekto ng gamot na binigay ng doktor. So, the normal patient doctor relationship, no, should be firm, no? Aside from it's the responsibility of the doctor to provide all the necessary information to the patient para na sa ganun, no, maging compliant, no? The patient's compliance is very important para gumaling din siya, no? So, of course, it has to be something optimal and personalized. No, it's a one-on-one uh, working relationship, ika nga. No? To give emphasis on how do you treat it. Compassion is, I think, personally, no, is the most important factor that will determine, no, how good the doctor treats his or her patient. Kaya kailangan malasakit talaga eh, no? Kasi pag hindi mo in fact, I hate to say this, but this is true, no? The moment a conventional mainstream doctor feels that yung alternative or complementary treatment that other doctors are providing, eh kino-consider na lang threat, then they will always outright say, no, hindi totoo yan, no? Kasi maapektuhan yung kanilang dami ng pasyente, yung kanilang profession. But that should not be the case. No? The ultimate regard should be to the patient. Kung gagaling yung pasyente, whatever it takes, basta gumaling yung pasyente. That is, di ba, a Christian way of doing things. Okay, so it's also a shared decision making. You inform the patients well, no? You discuss the pros and cons. There will always be two sides of the coin. But if you're able to discuss them properly, no, you should not be biased. Understanding patient values and preferences is very important on the part of the doctor. No? Kailangan, may malasakit tayo talaga sa pasyente. No? Kung sasabihin naman nila, Doc, unfortunately, this is the truth, no, from my entire clinical practice. No, the most compelling reason na minsan would prevent them from undergoing specific individualized treatment is the cost of the treatment. Totoo yan eh. Kaya nga affordability is a big factor that has to be considered, no, when you try to give options to your patients. Kasi for sure, kahit naman maraming beses na mga pasyente would tell me, Doc, naniniwala kami sa sinasabi mo. We understand what you're saying. But the point is, we cannot afford it. Yun ang pinakamasakit. Anyway, so we are trying to co-create the treatment plan. So we discuss, no? It's very important to discuss, no? Aside from the pros and cons, what are the options? What are the doctor's advice and suggestions? So we create the plan, both considering the patient's side, no, and of course the doctor's side. So that is how things should be shared. No? So meron patient-provider relationship, partnership model. Patients are active, should be considered as active participants in their healing process. There should be emphasis on coordination and, of course, proper communication. Okay, so in conclusion, no, the essence of integrative medicine, and that covers bioregenerative medicine, should be personalized, collaborative, no, and holistic approach. It aligns with, of course, NanoCell's mission to foster comprehensive health solutions.